Ducklings, welcome back everyone, welcome back. We're hoping you enjoyed that break. We have returned with our second series of the night. We just wrapped up with Serral versus Australia, and up next is going to be Serral versus SHIN in a ZvZ. You can see some of the historical matches here ahead of us as well, and as is being stated in the chat, there is potential for a three-way tie, depending on if SHIN can bring Serral down. That is a big if. I mean, SHIN, he's defeated Serral before. He's taken maps, he's taken series in the past. We'll see if we can do it again. You can even see here last time he was able to do so was a year ago. It's been quite some time. But if we do end up in a three-way tie, then it comes down to series score, map score comes to head-to-head, and if it all still stays tied, which is quite possible, especially with the same like kind of map score differential, then there's going to be a best-of-one show match. There's going to be, I say show match, there's going to be a best-of-one tiebreaker if need be. So there is a chance that we get those best-of-one tiebreakers if SHIN brings Serral down. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if SHIN can cause that scenario to be a reality. We shall see. But yeah, I see some people kind of like theorizing like how do you break the tie with a best of one? With a best of one additional series. But now we are jumping in. We are going to be jumping into our second series, and here we go in the bottom right hand corner. We have Serral for Basilisk. And in the top left, we have SHIN for Gaiman Gladiators. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As we embrace our ZvZ. Here we go. Now, as we get into this, Serral's weakest matchup is ZvZ. True. That is true. And we have seen we have seen him struggle against players like a Laser, like Clem, like Solar. Of course, infamously, Solar was the Serral Slayer for quite some time and did take many a map and many a series off of Serral. We'll see if SHIN can really kind of reprise that role here. We'll see if he can keep up with Serral. What I will say is that we have been casting a lot of SHIN's ZvZ recently. We recently casted him against Dark in the finals of KSL in that ZvZ best of 5, and SHIN is a very aggressive player. What I will say though is that Serral has definitely grown in his ZvZ. If you remember the era last year of the era of Solar, where Solar was just non-stop bringing Serral down time and time again, a lot of that did come down to mind games. A lot of it was mind games. A lot of it was Solar able to either fake Serral into believing he was all in when he wasn't, or able to fake him out and all in when Serral didn't think he was. And we got to see Serral just, again, kind of mind-gamed and faked out time and time again by Solar. But after that kind of era, after that period of time, Serral did kind of learn from that and did take a different approach. He took a very, very different approach here in ZvZ, was able to be the aggressor himself to kind of beat Solar to the chase, or just become that much more adept at scouting. So much more adept at scouting to be able to confirm and recognize what exactly Solar's up to. And then over time, over the course of like 4 months, Serral's ZvZ really did tighten up, and since then he hasn't really lost too many games to Solar. Not anymore. So do you think that was a good period of growth for Serral as a player, especially in this matchup? And that's why I'm a little bit concerned for SHIN, but we'll see. We shall see. Maybe Serral should start playing Protoss in ZvZ. Kappa. I mean, that's what Raynor does, right? Like, Raynor plays Protoss instead of ZvZ. Clem plays Protoss instead of TVP. True. Not uncommon for a pro player to avoid the mirror matchup. Not uncommon. And the reason for that is the mirror matchup is the most chaotic, the most dynamic. Historically has been the most difficult for most players out there. Not all. You know, there are exceptions to the rule, like Ryung, for example, who's like a TVT specialist, or Solar for ZvZ. For now, though, Hatch Gas pull into our third bases. Baneling Nests are on the way. So far, standard openers. So far, everything is standard. We're going to be embracing Ling Bane, and we'll see who comes out ahead in the Ling Bane war that we're about to witness. As Serral is making extra Lings and should soon move out. It's going to be on SHIN to defend. Morphing in 2 defensive Banelings. Likewise, Serral morphing in 2 Banelings across the map. Does move out. Oh my god, as Serral does take a rating to the face. Not the best start for Serral, and just like that, Shin is dead. Just like that, Shin. Oh, I should say he does outtrade Serral. Serral has been droning behind this though, so off of the back of the aggression, Serral has been droning. Decent bailing connection there from Serral on the right hand side, and Shin is trying to catch up here, as he also likewise does drone. So we have our back and forth. Serral does maintain a slight worker lead here. He's up 2 workers, as Shin is trying to hunt down that bailing. And now we can just settle down. We can settle down and settle in to a longer game state. Ooh, Shin did invest into extra lings though. So he has a little bit more supply to work with if he so chose to. For now though, just saturating bases, working towards his lair. Both players are taking, both towards lair, towards evo chambers as well. Despite the early game aggression, we do calm things down, and again, Serral does enjoy himself a slight advantage, as he's been mining more for longer. What's important to point out here is that both players are droning. We do have 5 safety roaches on the way for Serral. Shin is doing something very similar as well. Now we can settle in. As both players are building up. Extra gas is being taken. Not gonna lie, it's tripping me out a little bit that the clean feed, they haven't switched the players on the UI, so it's it's a little bit trippy, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay. What I mean by that, usually you do rotate the players on your UI to kind of match where they are on the map. So Serral below and Shin above. But it's fine. It's fine, papi, it's fine. As for now, both players are focusing on their roach production. Both players getting up to 3-base saturation. Once again, Serral does drone up slightly faster into that 3-base economy. Ooh, and after the scout, Shin does go for the Spire. Bold move. So I do appreciate that Shin is trying to go into mutas, but the reality is that Serral's setting up for some Dropper Lords. We have a Dropper Lord morphing in to harass into the main base. As the Dropper Lord is now moving out. And we'll see if Shin can keep up. Overs here towards the main. The Dropper Lord has multiple purposes here: to harass, yes, but also to scout. To scout the main base and confirm exactly what Shin is up to. And speaking of scouting, the Overseer does go for a full scout, checks the third, checks the natural, checks the main, and Serral knows. Serral, he has scouted the Spire, he is fully aware of what's going on, and immediately a Hydroden. Hydroden is on the way, and we are building up towards a later game state. Serral dropping on up, going for the workers, and gets one drone. Shouldn't get much more than that, but he should be keeping Shin pinned. Keeping him pinned in his main bases. So now Serral is going to be maintaining himself. Knocking down those rocks. Shin is, I mean. Mutas are on the way. They should be able to gain map control at least and hunt down those overlords. Meanwhile, Serral, he's refining his army, getting to Roach Hydra instead. It's going to be Roach Hydra against Roach Muta. A couple of Ravagers morphing in. Upgrades are relatively close. Neck and neck. And Shin is on a timer. Over time, Roach Hydra turns into Roach Lurker, and Serral can outscale Shin. Can outscale him. So the onus is going to be on Shin to break through, building up his Roach Ravager army. Now, Roach Ravager can outtrade Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra just is a little bit more of a clunky army. So there is a window here for Shin, as he does push in. It dives on the army. Serral a little bit late to respond. Leaving out a lot of roaches. Whilst as well, they do catch an overlord. Even grazing the army. Serral stutter stepping forward. He does have the greater army here. He can focus. He can force back Shin. Once again, the Biles, they do force a micro out of Serral. Do force him back, but the stutter stepping is solid here, and it looks like Serral, he should break through. Forcing Shin back. Shin buying time with those Biles. At the same time, drop load gets dealt with. There's one borrowed roach in position. Shin can focus on his push. Oh, and yeah, there's just not enough here to protect those Ravagers. Ravagers are denied. Massive move here from Serral. And Shin is being forced all the way back. Ooh. Leading out Mutas. Yeah, Shin is reinforced since they're just tied up back at home due to the borrowed roaches. Yeah, Tunneling Claw roaches in the mineral lines, and Serral is going for the kill, going straight for the third, the fourth even. While they buy some time, at the same time, roaches they unbar in the natural. Queen goes down. And Serral, he's just overwhelming the army here of Shin just by pure numbers. Oh, the Biles! Oh, they do connect. Biles connect. Shin is buying time. Forcing back the army, but he needs reinforcements. Where are the roaches? Where are the roaches back? Just now rotating over. Once again, we have unburied roaches in the third. They're tying up so much supply. And that was the moment for Serral, but he wasn't quite able to break through. He came close, though. He came very close. In the end, Shin holds. Shin holds, and now Serral's taking. Serral, he's taking up towards a Hive Tech. Infestation Bit's on the way. That should be for a Hive. That should be for Lurkers. We'll see if Serral can get to that Lurker Tech. Until then, Shin does have an opportunity. Pushing into a concave, though. This is not going to be it. Does push into the concave. Serral, he takes a better trade, takes a better fight. Ay. At the same time, roaches, they counterattack across the map. And Shin's being pulled apart. He's out of position. Drones are going down. And Shin just cannot maintain these losses. Not like this. Now falling behind in the economy. Roaches in every mineral line. Is there detection? There is not. And just can be so awkward or so frustrating to defend against these Tunneling Claw roaches. As you can imagine, especially with that detection. Serral is looking to push in. They will go morphing in his own Ravagers as well. Left the greater army. Starts to respect the ramp though. Serral does pull away. There's another unborrow, more drones falling. Shin is all in. At this point, Shin is completely all in. He's being picked apart by those Tunneling Claw roaches. Nice dive here on the Hydras. Ooh, Biles, they graze the army. Better trades here from Shin, picking up Hydras and Ravagers. Oh, the Biles long god! Oh my god, does avoid them just barely. Barely does avoid the Biles. Shin trying to take the fight, but again, Serral, he's remaxing out the defender's advantage. I mean, this is a better fight for Shin. But reinforcements are on the way. Does Serral have enough? Shin, he's out of money. He's out of money. He's out of resources. This is all you get for Shin. We'll take down the expansion, but he needs more than that. Could be reinforcing. He's catching out reinforcements from Serral. Serral is trickling in. Coming in for this round. The boys are being pulled. Can Serral hold? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close here, and he barely is holding. It's going to cost Serral a lot of workers. Does cost him a base, but it's worth it. It's worth it if Serral, he holds. And now he can shut down this army. It was close, but GG gets called, and Serral will take game one. GG. GG, well played. Again, the harass was just far too much to deal with when it came to either the drop lord harass or even the just Tunneling Claw roaches in the natural in the third base time and time again. What was brutal about the Tunneling Claw roaches is that Shin, he had to invest into more supply to defend than Serral was attacking. Because of that, his main army was smaller than Serral's was, of course, so he was overwhelmed and just picked apart over time. GG. GG, well played. Very nice control there out of Serral when it came to those roaches. And Shin definitely had some opportunities for himself, but wasn't quite able to capitalize on them. In the end, GG. GG, well played. Serral does take the first game, and now we're getting into game number 2 on Frostline. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be settling in. And we'll see where Serral can take us. We'll see if Shin can force the ace match. Now, personally, as always, I would love to see an ace match. I would love to see a game 3 between these players, but we'll see if we can pull this off. See if Shin can pull this off. As a reminder as well, Shin will have 2 matches here tonight. His first series here against Serral, and he'll have another series against Cure thereafter. Here we go. When it comes to the vetoes, nothing too out of the norm here. Shin, he vetoed all the larger maps, so he vetoed King's Cove, Abyssal, and Amygdala. Likewise, Serral did veto some of the more unorthodox maps in El Dorado, Neo Violet Square, and Ultra Love. These are becoming like the more standard vetoes. That's very quickly, very quickly. And here we go. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Serral for Basilisk. And in the top right-hand corner, we have Shin for Gammon Gladiators. Let us go. The all-in almost works. The all-in did almost work. Again, just because Serral's reinforcements were coming in just like a batch at a time, so Shin was able to take better trades. So important that Serral, he bought time for the surround, he pulled the boys as well. It was an intense couple of moments there in that last game. Very intense. But now we're settling into Frostline. Frostline, if there was a map to embrace Mutazone, I feel like this would be one of them. Frostline is a much larger map, but the bases are very exposed. The natural, the third, the fourth base, they're very spread out and can be very difficult to actually maintain those bases. So we'll see how our players do approach this. We shall see. Yeah, more games, baby, more games. Give us all the games. So now we are going to be settling in. So far, just Hatchgas Pool into a third. Oh, sorry, Hatchgas Pool into a standard game so far. Either player could try to wall off. I don't think this is a good map for walling off, though. The entrance towards the natural is very large. It's very wide. So just trying to play 2 base here does feel less than ideal on Frostline. So we should be seeing third bases. That should be. What if the Proto someone in a Rainer switches to Terran? Because they know Rainer's gonna switch as well. Oh, the Mayan games, crazy. We'll get there eventually. See Braz in the chat. Good morning, lights. I get technically it's morning. I guess it's midnight here in Australia. It is midnight. Yeah. Spent the day working on VODs all day, or most of the day, I should say. Then we had a nap. Was just trying to plan out the rest of the month when it comes to our broadcasts as well. A bit of a teaser for things to come. Later on this week, we'll be featuring a show match with MC, which is going to be amazing, by the way. I can't remember the last time we've actually seen MC compete. I mean, I remember MC played in a show match. I think he played in the Stormgate show match, right? Like, I want to say he played in one of the other RTS events, like earlier this year. So really cool to see MC willing to play StarCraft again, even for a moment. That'll be later on in the week. For now, though, it is going to be a Roach Warren for Shin. Going to earlier Roaches, both players getting their third bases. And we're calming things down. Oh. As we do see Serral baiting out of Baneling already. Nicely done here by Serral. Baits out of Baneling. Slightly more efficient start. Likewise, Serral, he does have a slightly higher drone count as well. So similarly to the previous game, we'll have the slightly better economy coming into the mid game. Imagine a TVT turns into a PvP. That could happen. That could happen. Like, especially as the... Oh, God, as Serral is going for an all-in. So there's a couple of different things happening here. Serral is going for a 2-base all-in. He's going for a hatch-base all-in. No lair. No lair for Serral. No upgrades either. Meanwhile, SHIN is investing in other things. SHIN is droning. Ooh, this series might end here and now. SHIN, he's droning up. He's taking into +1 range, taking into a lair, taking into roach speed, taking extra gases. SHIN is setting up for the mid-game, and Serral's going all-in. So he's sending everything across the map here and now. Either Serral kills SHIN or he dies trying. And again, SHIN has been so greedy. No. He's been quite greedy here. Lings are coming in to reinforce. SHIN, he now realizes what's going on. He's making as many roaches as possible. And can SHIN survive this? Serral, he does start to drone behind this. He does lose confidence in his all-in. Roaches, they move forward. So far, good concave here by SHIN. More Banelings rolling in, but the Queens, they move forward. So far, SHIN doing well. He's buying time. Serral drones. Serral, he has no faith. He has no faith in the all-in. He's droning up. He's taking up into a lair. Banelings, they crash into the army. Oh my God, Banelings try to. And decent connections. They connect with roaches. More reinforcements popping out. And SHIN, is he barely holding on? It's close. Oh, it's so close. He's barely holding. And SHIN, he will survive. He will survive this. Serral has to back off again, back at home, losing queens, losing drones as we speak. There's no kill count on the left-hand side, unfortunately. But SHIN, looking good now. I mean, hey, he's now going to have a lead when it comes to roach speed, +1 range, extra gases. He can now drone. And he's not. I like this. I actually like this here from SHIN. So SHIN, he survives the all-in, and now he's getting ready for his own counterattack. SHIN could drone, but he also knows that Serral's droning right now. Serral, he's droning up as hard as he can because Serral knows he's behind, and because Serral is droning, the pendulum swings from one player to the other. You know, that means that suddenly SHIN is up in army supply, and SHIN is going for the counter all-in while Serral's been droning. Serral back at home, a wall of spines. You can see in the production tab, 3 spine crawlers on the way. Serral knows that he needs whatever he can here to survive this. Let's go. Let's go as SHIN, he does push forward into a concave. +1 range is done. Slowly pushing forward, breaking through the front line, getting into the roaches. Spine crawlers need a couple more seconds to finish up. Serral should be able to hold on though. Yeah, with these reinforcements, Serral, he is holding. Hold position micro with the drones, and SHIN has to back off. SHIN, he has to, oh God, he's gonna fight a little bit longer here. Does commit in, but yeah, he's gonna bleed out a lot of roaches in the process. SHIN has to retreat. Serral holds. Serral now takes the lead, I should say, as he's catching up in upgrades. But what I do like here at SHIN, as SHIN, he had extra gas. What does he do with the gas? Mutas. Spire is almost done. I love this. Spire is almost done for SHIN. So even though SHIN, now he is in a lower drone count or a lower economic game state, with these mutas, he should gain map control, and then SHIN can recover. Ideally. Ideally, SHIN recovers from here with those mutas. Overseer scattered to the main. Doesn't see too much. Spire is at the third, not in the main or the natural. Overseer gets brought down. No scouts. 10 mutas on the way. And Serral has no idea. SHIN taking into +1 melee. This tells us that SHIN, he isn't just going muta for map control, he's going mass muta. He plans to go mass muta at this point. +1 air attack is on the way. +1 melee is on the way. 4th base as well for extra gases. Serral, he responds with a hydrogen. I do like this. Even though Serral hasn't seen the mutas up until now, he's going for the hydrogen just in case. He knows that something could be wrong, something could be amiss. Now he confirms. It's a nice foresight there from Serral. As mutas have arrived. Serral being forced back. No hydras yet, but he has queens. The queens are ready. Mutas are diving the queens. There's 1 transfuse. There's 2. Just the 2 as 1 queen falls. Spores are about to finish. He could have tried to go for the dive a little bit sooner. Does get the spore, but will bleed out 2 mutas in the process. So I'm not sure. He wants the queen. He wants it. He gets it. Queen goes down. Ooh. The spore is brutal though. There's no transfuse, so the spore is gonna hold its own. Yeah, SHIN having some rough engagements here. Does bleed out some mutas. Has to respect the army. Falling back. Does fall back. SHIN joining up to 83, has a massive economy. The Hydra cannon is getting higher and higher. Again, it's going to be on SHIN to try to support this army with either Banelings or something else. So the Hydra cannon is getting a bit out of hand. The army does threaten to move out. SHIN's being kept busy. Serral, he's maxed. And he will soon pull the trigger. Lings, they do get into the main though. Oh my god. Lings, they flood into the main base. Banelings, they head towards the third as well. Serral being pulled apart. Banelings, they crash in. Massive connections. 22 drones go down. And SHIN has to very quickly remax behind this, because Serral is soon going to be forced all in. SHIN does catch some of the Hydras. Yeah, Hydras are going down and Serral is all in. He's sending everything across the map. It's all or nothing. As SHIN, he turns back around. He's racing back home. Is this the right call though? Could he have committed to the base trade? Potentially. It says SHIN is going to try and survive, try and defend. Guess hold on to those Banelings. Banelings, no! Don't want to waste them on the Roaches. Banelings falling back. Trying to hold on to them. Again, that's a little Hydras. Banelings, they roll in. Nice movement here by Serral. Oh my god, he shuts down the Banelings. They do not connect. SHIN, he's supply blocked. He has to back off. Yeah, it looks like Serral may have just done it here. Ideally, you need to save those Banelings for the mutants. Sorry, for the Hydras of all things. But very nice movement out of Serral. Does catch the Baneling nest. No more Banelings. SHIN trying to come in from behind. Once again, collapsing on those Hydras. And can he break through? Oh god, there are just so many Hydras though. I mean, most of them will go down. It's a close fight, but it looks like SHIN will clean up every single Hydra, just barely. It was a rough trade, at the same time losing every single worker. SHIN being forced further back into the main. Oh, that's going to be a cancel here on the Spire. Backup Spire on the way. SHIN losing 46 workers. Thankfully, he had 83 to begin with. So SHIN still has a worker lead. Spine Cool is at the reposition. Losing more drones. SHIN still maintains a better economy. Ooh. Serral reinforcement with pure Hydra. Does reinforce. Army gets spotted. SHIN has to respond. He does catch some reinforcements. Nicely done. Gets a Hydra. Does pick off 2 Hydras, but the army gets across the map. SHIN out of position. He does try to commit. And in a head-on fight, I have to favor Serral's army. I do have to favor him. Baneless is on the way. With Ling Bane, SHIN can shut down these Hydras, but he does need the Banelings. Spawning pool going to be going down. SHIN likewise down in army supply. Down in workers as well, losing 30 drones. Oh my god. That economic advantage that he once had is not there anymore. Not anymore. Baneless is almost done. And SHIN does have a bank. He needs as many Banelings as possible. And there they are. Banelings are morphing in. SHIN looking a little bit exasperated. I mean, it's been close. It's been very close, but Serral's just outscaling him at this point. Serral just has a better economy. Has so many Hydras. SHIN just now realizing he had no spawning pool. Couldn't make any Lings. And now here comes the army. Ling Bane, they try to rush on in. They get some decent connections, but the spread is too good. Yeah, the spread is too good. Oh, better Baneling connections towards the end. Uh-oh. SHIN, he cleans us up. Cleans up the army. Let's go. Serral, he started splitting, then he stopped. He stopped splitting, but Ling's there for a counterattack. SHIN, he's still in this. But he's down to 10 workers. Like the economy's not looking good here for SHIN. So Serral can remax, SHIN less so. Ay, ay, ay. As ZvZ coming from behind once again, going for another run by. Hydra's back into the event. GG gets called. There's nothing left there. And Serral will take the 2-0. GG. Whew. GG. Well played. A very, very intense series here. I mean, again, SHIN definitely had chances both in Game 1 and in Game 2. In both Game 1 and Game 2, SHIN definitely had some opportunities here against Serral, especially here in Game 2. It was very scrappy towards the end, but alas, Serral does take it. Game 2 was just so chaotic because it was so back and forth when it comes to the all-ins. First, Serral went for the all-in, then SHIN, then Serral, then SHIN. Like, it was just very back and forth, and again, just a very close match there. Despite the 2-0, hope SHIN isn't feeling too disappointed because he came close. Came very close to bringing down Serral. GG. GG, well played. With that, Serral does take the 2-0, and now we're getting ready for the final series of the night. We're getting ready for that final best of 3. Up next, after the break, is going to be SHIN versus Cure. Let's go. Up next is going to be SHIN versus Cure. So we're going to be going on that break. When we come back, we'll have that final series of the night. See you soon. See you soon as we round up, or round off, Group A. See you soon.